Hi, this video is sponsored by Penguin, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about the little black classics. There are 80 of them, and I have all of them right here, but because 80 seemed like quite a lot to talk about in one video, I asked you guys on Twitter to select 5 titles for me to read and review. And here are the 5 that you guys picked. First of all, I read On the Beach at Night Alone by Walt Whitman. The Little Black Classics are basically a selection of the work of a specific author. So the Walt Whitman one is a selection of verses which I think are mostly, or maybe all of them, taken from Leaves of Grass. If you ever studied Walt Whitman, or if you've read Paper Towns by John Green, you might be familiar with them. There's a poem in here called Pioneers, Oh Pioneers, which I actually had to read for a class I did in the US. That was one of the only poems that I knew from this collection. I am not crazy about Walt Whitman. I think I enjoy it more, and in general I enjoy poetry more, once I've read it a couple of times. There were some that I enjoyed. Oh Pioneers was probably my favorite one. Then we have some British poetry. Maybe it's because I studied British literature at university. This just kind of something that I can get into a bit more. But it is Emily Bronte's The Night is Darkening Around Me. If you know me, you know that Wuthering Heights is my favorite book, but I realized I had never read any poetry by Emily Bronte before. I don't think I even knew she did poetry. This is number 63, and they are some of Bronte's most passionate, powerful poems on death, nature's beauty, and the passage of time. And those are topics I really enjoy reading about. I enjoy sort of melancholic poetry that's maybe a bit on the creepy side, bit of death, bit of ghosts. This is definitely one that I'll be reading again. Then number 42, this was a favorite on Twitter. I think half of the suggestions I got were for this specific one. The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. This horrifying semi-autobiographical feminist story of imprisonment and madness scandalized 19th century society. This is a story written by a woman who, according to her husband, has, not been feeling too well, and because she's a little bit too hysterical, the best thing for her is just to, not ride and just kind of stay in her room and sleep a lot and not see too many people. And the room that she's staying in has this yellow patterned wallpaper, and as time goes on, she starts seeing the wallpaper move, she starts seeing people in them, and you can just sort of see it spiral out of control, and her psychosis starts getting worse and worse. This was really interesting, good suggestion. There's more stories in here as well. Would definitely recommend. Then we have Jonathan Swift, A Modest Proposal. This is number 8. I knew absolutely nothing about this, which is why I read the back first, which was a good thing for me, because it says, Swift's ferocious landmark 18th century political satire on how to solve a famine in Ireland. I'm quite bad at picking up satire, so it's good to have a warning in advance. His proposal is to start eating children. You don't find that out straight away, but as you're reading, and if I hadn't read the back, I probably would have gone, oh, this is, very interesting. And then you get to the eating of the children. I do love satire, but I definitely need the historical background and a bit of direction on the back. And then finally we have Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart, number 31. Oh, I forgot to say that there were quotes from each book in the beginning. The one for The Telltale Heart is, Presently I heard a slight groan, and I knew it was a groan of mortal terror, the low stifled sound that arises from the bottom of the soul. This is the story of a man who murders someone and then starts feeling a little bit guilty. And like with all the other Little Black Classics, there are more stories in there as well. I actually expected this one to be a little bit more creepy. It was quite interesting, and it was something that I definitely wanted to read. I enjoyed it. It was quite mysterious, but for some reason I expected the creepiness levels to be a little bit higher. This is a tiny selection from the 80 Little Black Classics are available. They're all 80p each, by the way, which is $2 Canadian, it says on the back. Another one I really want to read is The Beautiful Cassandra by Jane Austen, which I'd never heard of before. Then there's also Goblin Market by Christina Rossetti, which I studied at university, and I'm really excited about reading that one again. We have some D.H. Lawrence, some H.G. Wells, some Charles Darwin, Tolstoy. There is lots and lots going on here. Basically lots and lots to choose from. I have always adored the Penguin Classics. I actually did an internship in the Classics department of Penguin for 2 weeks about 2 years ago. Now if you were thinking of picking some of these up, I have good news because I have a full set to give away, but I'm going to split it into 8 packages of 10. All you need to do for a chance to get a set of 10 of the Little Black Classics is go to Instagram, post a picture of your favorite Penguin classic, and use hashtag Penguin80. Of course, you can also tag me in it so it's easier for me to find. You have 48 hours from the time that this video is up. I'll put the exact date and time and other details in the description, and I look forward to giving some of these away. I hope you enjoyed this video. If there are any other of the Little Black Classics that you want to recommend to me, leave them in a comment. I'll put a link to all the titles on Goodreads. There's like one full list in the description, plus the Little Black Classics website. Good luck if you're entering the competition, and I'll talk to you guys later. Doei!
Hello, me cool.